Welcome to this week's MTD Podcast. My name is Colin Griffiths. I run MTD Network and do a lot of stuff for MTDCNC as well. Hopefully you've seen some of my videos, but it's all about Kail and Co today. We are up in Sunderland finding out about diversification and automation. And after 5 takes, I hope I've got your name right this time. Neil.
It is Neil, yes.
Now, Neil, you are the designate managing director, if I can say that correctly?
Yes. Yeah.
So how long have you been here?
I've been here for just over 12 months, so the plan is to take over from Steve Patterson, who's the owner of Kail and has been managing director for the last 20 odd years.
Right, so hot off the press there for anybody who knows Kail and Co. I think most people do know that.
Yes, yeah. I think Steve communicated to all our customers, etc., just so they didn't get a shock. Steve's always going to be hands-on. I enjoy working with Steve. He's got a wealth of knowledge, so it's great having him around, you know, to pick his brains. And
Absolutely. Well, just looking around the machine shop, I'm not going to name every machine. I'm going to put you on the spot. How many machines do you think you've got roughly?
Somewhere between 40 and 50.
There's a lot of machine tools going on. And we're talking turning, not sliding heads, more fixed head?
Fixed head, vertical and conventional.
Absolutely.
EDM wire, 5-axis machining, horizontal machine and vertical machining. So
pretty much every machine, every sort of aspect of machining. So your Nakamura's, your mills, your Matsuras, absolutely massive fans.
Yes,
all of those, of course.
Charmeals for the EDM as well, and obviously recently we've acquired the Akuma.
Yeah, so we'll come to the latest acquisitions, which is all about your automation. I mean, the company's been going about 50 years?
Yes, just shy of 50 years.
Okay, and I understand you were sort of a general subby up till around 2002 when it was sort of more aimed at more oil and gas, is that correct?
Yes, yeah, the oil and gas sector in the northeast has been strong for many years, so it made sense to focus on oil and gas. It's been
not so much since more recently though, not undermining what Steve's done, absolutely not.
It's been challenging recently, but it's still there and it's still surprisingly active. Yes, the projects aren't as large, but they're still there, and it still provides a good base load to the business. We are trying to diversify. We're doing defence work. We're touched on the motorsport. Basically, if there's a component out there, whether it be a one-off or a 10,000 off, and it's within our capability, we're interested.
Well, that ties in very nicely because, again, people might think Kail and Co over the last sort of 18 or so years, it is mainly oil and gas. It is bigger parts, smaller batch runs, but automation.
Yes, we started off with Nakamura twin chuck bar feed machines. We've had those for a number of years, so we have kind of started dabbling in a kind of a form of automation, but not robotic.
Yeah, well, I totally agree. It is automation. People don't really think of it as automation, but your bar feeding, you're going to be running lights out 24/7.
Yeah, absolutely. Not sliding head, but again, it suited our portfolio of work. There's lots of good sliding head companies in the area that specialise in that kind of thing, and we'll let them get on with it, really.
Yeah.
What really whet our appetite for kind of automation, lights out machining, we acquired a Matsura MX330 last year. It quickly became apparent that there was a lot of potential there to run this thing, theoretically 168 hours a week if you can get the right work to the machine. That was a roaring success, and it started becoming a very difficult machine to load with work because it was so hungry, we'd get through the work.
Oh, right, difficult because you had so much work? Or?
Yes, and obviously we had an existing customer base with a product range that suited that machine, but it was just so efficient and it was running for so long, it was literally starting to kind of burn through the order book, really.
So you had a problem there, you couldn't get enough actual raw material through the door.
Yeah, and obviously orders as well, so we're burning through the order book. It's a good problem to have, and it lets the guys focus on the smaller quantities, so it means we can leave a machine running in the corner and have the guys working on the one-offs on some of the more conventional machines, which led us to looking at the next level of automation.
So just taking a step back on that one though, so it's the MX330.
Yeah.
In very brief terms, how many pallets will it hold, how many tools and things like that?
So it's a 10 pallet machine. I think it's an 80 tool carousel, but I need to check that. It's 80. The chuck, we've got a combination of chucks and 5-axis vices on there. We tend to just leave it set. I think we've got 8 vices and 2 chucks, and it suits our work mix.
So you can do 10 jobs the same, but if you've got that mix, you can do 10 different jobs.
10 one-offs. What the guys will do, they'll tend to, as the kind of back shift comes in, they'll load it up with a batch of similar components and just hit cycle start and off you go. And we quickly found out that 80 tool carousels sound like a lot of tools, but when you've got multi-pallet machines, you fill that carousel up very quickly.
Yeah. But not a bad problem to have.
No, certainly not. Certainly not.
And in terms of changing over jobs and things like that, once you've said it the first time, simple to change over. You've
Absolutely.
got 0 point systems.
0 point systems, and it's great watching the guys just literally switch from a one-off to a batch, and it's very, very economical way of manufacturing.
Brilliant. So, I mean, you are massive fans of materials. I think prior to this, you had about 6 or 7 of the machines, 5-axis.
And horizontals, yeah.
Absolutely. So this is the MX330, let me get that correct.
Yes.
10 pallet. Then you've gone another step in terms of automation, which is a fixed head lathe.
There was kind of a lot of media coverage of automation back end of 2019, and Steve's a very kind of proactive man when it comes to investing in machine tools and technology. We started looking at different solutions. We went to the kind of usual suspects, mills, etc. But we really liked what NCMT had to offer in terms of an Akuma lathe with a FANUC robot, and the interfaces by a company called Celro, who are a Dutch company. But we just like the way the robot sits out the road of the machine loading area, so it makes the machines very accessible. FANUC robots, so FANUC's well established. There's a lot of guys in the northeast because of the automotive sector that understand FANUC robots. So if you've got any kind of training issues, etc., there's people on the doorstep. And that was focusing on a set of parts that we produce on a monthly basis for one particular customer. So it was a turnkey from NCMT.
Okay.
They came in, got the components producing.
But this is not about really chasing the cycle times. It's
not
getting the 20. So, and people might, a great example, I think, is sliding head machines. Getting that price down, chasing that cycle time. That's not the case. It's keeping the spindle turning.
Keeping the spindle turning and taking existing components that we're producing across 2 and 3 machines and converting them to an automated process. So swarf control became very important, something that we learned very quickly when the machine was introduced. You needed to get the swarf, eliminate swarf essentially. You needed a chipping, so you weren't getting balls of swarf on the individual tools.
So close relationship with the tooling providers as well.
Yes, yeah, we'll work with, we use some kind of general tooling suppliers in the area. We're not really a kind of one-stop shop for seat or sandbag. However, we'll tend to use what we believe is the best solution. So the independent guys will come in with a suite of inserts, and we literally just tried various geometries and chip breakers to maximize the cut time on the machine.
Okay. Now, that's your first foray into sort of automation on your fixed head machine. And has it been plain sailing, or has it been a challenge?
It's been a real challenge. Obviously, we recruited Harry, a graduate who had some experience of robotics, but no experience of machining.
So his background is mechanical engineering.
Yes, mechanical engineering degree. Sunderland University kind of found some candidates for us. We interviewed. Harry stood out, offered Harry the job, and it was a very positive move because he's really kind of looked after this robot cell from its introduction, got his head around it, doing really well, and has learned a lot in the last 6 months. But it was a tough 3 months. It's not just plug and play like the Matsuras are. We know Matsuras, we know what to expect. This has been a real learning curve. But
it's no disrespect to actually the Akuma machine or the cell.
This is
a new process for you guys.
Absolutely, and getting your head around automation. And like you said, it's not being a slave to the cycle time. It's about getting a stable process, getting good swarf control, and producing a good quality component.
So people out there think about automation. So it's about this, like I say, stable process, your swarf control, get that mastered. It's not chasing the cycle time.
No, absolutely.
Absolutely. And that's a fantastic story on that side of things. But those two have really whet your appetite because you've gone and bought another Matsura. Which one's that?
So we bought the MAM 72. Great, just a fantastic machine. It was always Steve's ambition to own. He's a long-standing Matsura customer. He visited Japan last year and always wanted to invest in the MAM. So because the 330 was so successful and the way the automations progressed, he thought the time was right.
Yeah.
And so we've had that machine.
And a very high level in that machine in terms of how many pallets it's got, how many tools?
So that machine's got 32 pallets. It's got 120 tools. It's
But you can get more tools if required.
you can put banks of 120 in, I believe. I think it's a maximum of 480. So we've gone with 120. Who knows where we'll be in the future?
That's a lot of tooling going on there.
Yeah, but for quite a small footprint, you've got a 32 pallet machine, which it's really quite impressive. We're not really limited on space, but it's nice to see it fits in the current cell. It looks the part. It kind of the aesthetics of the place look good.
And your machine operator, Simon, he's never run a multi-pallet, but he absolutely loves it.
It's fantastic, and it was like a duck to water. He literally went from the Matsuura MX850, which is the only real experience of Matsuura, because the other facility has the MX330, etc. So he's gone straight from that 850, which is a much bigger machine, to this MAM 72, and it's
there you go.
Totally in motion.
I'm gonna bring that to an end there. That's a great story, Neil. Thank you very much for your time. It is taking that leap really and trusting. It is. The machine tool supplies are very good. They've got some very good applications, people. You're right. It's getting the selection right, making it suit your portfolio of work, and there's real potential there. Will you look back from automation? No. This is the future. It's certainly the future. Brilliant. Excellent. Thank you very much, and good luck in your designate MD and MD to in due course. Thank you very much. Thank you. Cheers.
Thanks for listening to the MTD Podcast. If you found value in this episode, please subscribe and leave a rating and review. Find more episodes on MTDCNC.com.